I remember a little while back, this is before the election, Myron Gaines posted, he said something to the effect, I couldn't find the post. I didn't look that hard, but I couldn't find it. He said something to the effect of the JQ is going to blow up after the election. And I never forgot that tweet. It was right before the election. I never forgot that tweet because it just hit me like, you're right. And we are after the election, obviously, and I'm exaggerating. The JQ is not mainstream, but there is a unease, let's just say, coming from the political right, and the left doesn't know what's going on. They're just watching this. Like I'm talking about the progressive left, the real left, not like Kamala Harris. They're watching this and they're just confused. They don't know what's happening, and I don't blame them. If you don't know what's going on, just kind of watch and figure out and get in where you fit in. But right now, the political right is kind of falling apart. And it's strange because the Democrats have no opposition to them, so I don't really think it's falling apart to the point where you're going to see Democrats win. But everything is not all kosher. Let's just say everything is not all good on the political right, and it's bubbling up. And you're seeing people want to avoid the conversation, but they can't avoid the conversation. The conversation isn't going anywhere. That's what's happening on the political right now. Earlier tonight, just a little while ago, I reacted to a little bit, first half maybe of the discussion of Elijah Schaffer and Nick Fuentes, and that's basically the whole discussion on the right now. Everything boils down and boils back to this question. And we're here in the moment. What is the JQ? What is going on? Some people, I think there are some people who haven't really even, come in and out on channels, haven't seen the channel in a while, and saw maybe a little bit of kind of what the topics were on X and on the channel. And like, wait a second, what's happened? Because this channel's never been about the JQ or anything like that. But basically now it is. Now it is very much. And I think I reacted to a few things leading into the election. And I got to the point where I said your favorite influencer doesn't have, first of all, can't identify the problem and doesn't maybe want to solve the problem or doesn't have answers to the problem. And now I'm seeing why. Because if you're digging into the problems with these things, it often comes back down to the JQ. Well, whether you agree with it or not, or wherever you side on it, it gets to that point. There's no avoiding it. If you are looking at trying to identify the problem, where is it, or where's the origin of it? Where does it go? What to do from here going forward? It always comes back to that. It's damn near every single topic comes back to it. You can't avoid it. So that's what we're going to talk about today in various ways, shape, form, manner. So let's take a look at just my general thoughts on what this is. I'm new to this game, so I don't know what this is, my interpretation of it, and I always adapt and leave room to be wrong. But when you look at it, you could say the resurgence of this, or the JQ is really short for the Jewish question. And it's one of those charged terms, but when you break it down, would the Christian question be a charged term? Why is it a charged term? Because people told you it was a charged term. That's the only reason why. Who told you it was a charged term? You see, quickly it gets to that. But it gets to the point of questioning the influence and power of who has influence and power in America, why they have influence and power, and who should have influence and power. That's to me what it comes down to. Nobody says, what's the Native American question? Why? Because they don't have any power. Nobody cares. That's the reason why you don't ask those type of questions. People take it back to the Yahtzees and things like that. I don't think you have to do that. I'm talking about modern times right now. So I'm not using the term as going back to, and people use the term dog whistle, all that kind of stuff. These are things to cloud the conversation. These are things to make people afraid of having a grown. This is really for grown men. A grown ass man type conversation is to scare and manipulate and put fear into you that you can't ask the question. Quite literally, Ben Shapiro said, you can't ask the question. If you're curious, you can't. Not just the JQ in general. Asking questions is not a good thing. Daily Wire. Today started off with this artist. I don't know who this artist is. I'm not even going to play the clip because I don't know. I'm pretty sure they'll probably copyright it. I found, well, you probably have seen this, is when clips go viral and they might be, it's not even embarrassing to them. They want to get views. It's more, it's going viral and not in a way that they control the virality. They're not controlling where it's going viral. They're not controlling how it's being framed as it's going viral. And it's going really viral. Some account with about, I don't know, I think they had like 20 something thousand followers, 50 million views. And this is the first tweet I saw from today going viral. And it's a tweet. We're going to jump into the blacks right now for a second. But it's a tweet that it obviously came out of the echo chamber of like Black Twitter or blacks, but it reminded me a lot of the article that Jemele Hill kind of blew up back in the day. It was from 2017, I think. The article was straight black men are the white people of black people. And that was 2017, I believe. And this situation reminded me a lot of that. So there was this podcast, never heard of it in my life, so I just started kind of looking into it. There's a podcast that they basically, BuzzFeed had owned it, and they basically do these type of conversations. And one of the weird things about the conversation is it went to a place where you wouldn't have expected it under normal circumstances. You even heard people say it felt like it was contrived. It was so awkward. And how do you pronounce this? I don't know how to pronounce this artist's name. It's Doechii. I do not partake in this artist, so I don't know how to properly pronounce her name. And she does these weird songs. I kind of looked into her. One of her biggest songs is her man, her boyfriend, I think, in the song, leaving her for a man. And I didn't even go down that rabbit hole. We can go down that. I'm not doing that now, but of the record label, who owns that, and what the influences are there. I'm sure the conclusion will not be a surprise. But they went viral for this comment, and I'm just going to read it because, again, I don't know what they do with these clips here. I could just pause it. Pretty sure you can pause it probably about every 10 seconds, and it would be okay or so. So let me try a little bit of it. Let's see how it goes. They are taking videos down live now, so I wouldn't be. This is a hot clip, so I would not be surprised if they went to YouTube and said, if anybody's messing with this clip, take it down immediately. I would not be surprised.
Okay. What's my biggest dating red flag?
So this artist, this thing, here it is again. Melania Trump did the same thing. Kamala Harris did the same thing, where they're women, they're dressed up, and they look like men. I don't know what the style is. I don't know. It's not cute. Melania did not look cute in that beige suit, looking like a man. It's just not for me. It's in. It's the in style. So if you want to be fashionable, she's a fashionista. That's fine. Maybe she wanted to project a certain aura on that day, because I believe she was speaking when Trump was doing I think it was the round table cabinet meeting, but I don't think she was there. She was doing a different one or something like that. So she obviously wanted to present. She doesn't dress accidentally. She had the hat on to cover her face. I don't think she really even wants to do a second term, but she's going to take one for the team. This right here, someone tell me how to pronounce this. Doja, is it Doja Cat? No, it's not. That's not Doja Cat. No, this is Doshi or whatever. Doja Cat is more light skin, right? I don't know these artists. I'm an old man. I don't mess with them. I'm over here listening to like who's this? Like old Most Def. Miss Fat Booty. Like I'm listening to Most Def from 2000. I don't know who these artists are. I'm listening to Talib Kweli from like 99. I don't know what's going on. I'm listening to Company Flow. I'm popping in Wu-Tang 36 Chambers back when hip hop had masculinity to it. I'm listening to Redman. I don't know what. Well, he's still doing stuff. Is good, but I'm listening to the old school stuff. I don't know who these people are. But you heard the question there, resetting it and looking like a man. It's the same type of thing. Simone Sanders, Melania Trump, Joy Reid, name them. They're just looking like men. Whatever. This is an interview on Hot Ones versus whatever that is. They're kind of like I don't know how they do set it up. It's like a versus, I guess. Grammy-winning rapper Doechii. I don't know if I'm trying to see if they can say it. I don't know. Sparked widespread discussion so she asked the question here, what is the red flag when you're dating? That's the question.
What's my biggest dating red flag?
So you think about that. What's your biggest dating red flag? You can think about that. Look, maybe somebody's late to the date. Maybe somebody's feeling like they're intoxicated or something like that. What's the red flag? I'm married for quite some time now. I don't even know the dating game anymore. I don't even know. The game is crazy at this point. I'm going to need to see ID to prove your age, and I'm going to need to see a Trump approved. I think Trump said the passports are now biological. I don't know if there's a workaround or not. I saw some Transformers crying because they couldn't get the female on their passport. I'm going to need to see your driver's license and your passport to make sure you're a female, biological female, if I'm in the dating game right now. But, what's your red flag? Somebody's dressed bummy, smells, whatever. Talking too much, talking about themselves too much. The typical stuff. This is corny-ass stuff.
On the DL?
You're on the right track.
So she said on the DL. What? What is maybe this is what kids, I don't know how old she is, but
Dating red flag.
Is it being on the DL?
Being on the DL. That's a term that, at least back in the day, that meant gay. I don't know if she's meaning it as like cheating. I don't know what the terms are now. Okay, but she said it's close, so I'm thinking she's thinking that it means that the guy is gay. That's the red flag. Why would a gay guy be on the date? Well, both of y'all look like men, so maybe that's why.
You're on the right track.
This is so corny.
I have my answer.
It's so contrived, too. It doesn't even seem real. They try to make it feel like it's a real, authentic conversation.
Is it?
Let's hold out the drama. What is it? Is it that they look ugly? Is it that they didn't match their profile on the dating platform?
Close enough?
You want to guess one more time what would be a red flag for me?
Bad music taste?
Oh, that is a good one.
Because that's
Bad music taste. Is that one of the first ones you think of? I don't know. I wouldn't pick her for my Family Feud. Bad music taste.
one for me.
That is a good one.
Like,
That's
what
not
do you
what I
mean
put.
you don't listen to Michael Jackson? But
Yeah, I guess you have a point. You have a point. Like, who doesn't like Michael Jackson? I guess there's people who don't, but I'm not a big pop person, but I like Michael Jackson.
Okay. This is a huge red flag for me.
all right.
A huge red flag. She's gonna reveal it. Okay, what is it gonna be?
It's so crazy.
She turns around this placard, this dry erase board, and the big red flag, the big reveal, the big drama moment.
This is a huge red flag for me.
All right.
The answer is a straight man. What exactly is happening right now? Can somebody explain to me what's happening right now? This is how the blacks operate. This is the blacks operate. Black men, where are you at right now? This is how the women are operating. I mean, half the black men don't even want to be involved with that. Just straight up. If you want to go have fun in the snow, my wife is white. Go have fun in the snow, bruh. Cause this ain't gonna work. You gotta do a lot of fixing to fix this. These are grown ass women. And they feel like they're so base too.
You know what's so crazy? I was gonna say men.
What? You're not doing well. Just not doing well. You have to make an accurate assessment of where you are. And this is a failure of men from at the highest level and the highest order of the hierarchy of society. That you have women propped up on whatever platform this is as superstars or people to look at. Whether you look at them that way or not is not important. What does the society value? Who does the society prop up? The blacks don't prop up Candace Owens. They prop up this. I mean, you don't have to. Candace Owens is obviously older in politics. I don't know. I don't know who you would prop up. What about King Randall? I don't know. I mean, I know he doesn't do like, pop stuff, but this is what you prop up. And you wonder why the Republicans or MAGA got more Browns than ever. You wonder why. You remember that clip went viral. They walked up to some Native Americans and said, and they had a MAGA flag, and they were like, "What's going on?" It's this. This is it. If you think that you only have two choices, and this is the Democrat Party, this is what represents the Democrat Party. Still, even after Trump, the women didn't go to Trump. The black women, not like that. It's still 90% black women. 9 out of 10 black women that you see in the streets voted for Kamala Harris. I just found out she's Jewish in a way. She's partly Jewish. She's like Sneeko, partly Jewish. I don't have any beef with Sneeko, but it's like Kamala's propped up to the blacks as a black. Then she's an Indian when she needs to be an Indian, and it turns out she's Jew. This is crazy, man. And people don't understand what the problem is. You don't understand what the problem is, that she's being coy and secretive and hiding her background. Why would it's not like she was proud? If she was proud about it, it wouldn't be be a big deal. It'd just be another one running around. They're all over DC with Trump and them. It makes it worse that you're hiding it. You bring allegedly your servants out that make it look like it's a black family member, and Candace Owens is like, nobody looked into this. It looks like it was her servant, allegedly, to hide her grandpa's dad is like as white as snow kind of Jew. Why aren't you proud of that? Sneeko's looking at it, and Sneeko's like, I'm proud of it. I appreciate that. So we look at this. What are we doing here? Are we just going to let this go on without complete mockery and shame?
Strike one. You're a man.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a bit or what. What's the joke? Let's say this is a complete bit, which it is. But let's just say it's like not even a serious thing. It's just a joke. What's the punchline? I don't understand. Help me out. A straight man. So this clip here went viral beyond belief. I don't know where it's at now. We are at probably over 50 mil. We're at 48.4 million views on this clip at this point. Gone completely viral. So then I kind of just, right after I saw it, I said, hey, Grok, there's this cool feature. It needs to be refined, just like any tech feature that comes out, but it is a great idea. And really, I think the community note should be gone. There should be no more community notes. This coming out shows you what community notes really is, in my opinion, is nothing more than it's literally nothing more than to control a viral tweet. This one doesn't have a community notes. I don't think you could even do it. Well, you could. You could put it on anyone. But you can at Grok. Grok is his AI, Elon Musk and X's AI, LLM. If you go at Grok, I've only been asking questions. I don't know what else you can do there. I'm sure you can do more. I said, what is the name of the show here? I didn't know anything about this. I said, what's the name of the show? Which is really cool, and it's pretty quick. It gives you some answers. They don't have a link to the sourcing of it, which is not good. And the answers are not always right, which is typical of AI. But what is the name? It's more right than wrong, though. What's the name of the show here? Who owns it? And are any of them Jewish? Is what I put in there for Grok. And when you look at it, Grok replies. Where is the reply? And I've been seeing this. I've been having problems getting the replies. I don't see the reply. I've been having problems with that. I don't know. It looks like it's with the Grok when you do the Grok. I go back into it and you see the 2 replies and it's not there. So I don't know. It got the answer wrong. Let's just fast forward to the end. And then I went through my normal AI. I have multiple AIs that I run stuff through and kind of fact check or whatever, give me sources basically. And it turns out that BuzzFeed owned First We Feast, the production company behind Hot Ones. They sold it to a consortium led by, wait for it, George Soros's Soros Fund Management in December. They are the main stakeholders. I don't know who makes decisions or anything. They are the primary financial stakeholder, though. So they have some type of say in it. So now I'm like, this is too much. This is getting too much. So so I respond to it and I say, what's going on here? And I just basically respond to it and say, I don't even put a conclusion to it. I just say the J's, whatever, because I don't know how they ban people or what. So I choose my words on there. Pretty soon, I think they're going to just do hate speech on stuff like that because AI can guess the context. If I put the statement that I say with the J's in ChatGPT or in Grok, I haven't done it in Grok, but if you put it in the ChatGPT, it will say, it will literally tell you, I don't like coded language. I'm not going to help you with that. It knows what it is. So that's why I'm like, why am I even editing cuss words and it just putting stuff there? You can try to hide because, like, for example, this video probably would be, it's hard for me to tell. I don't get a lot of views, but it probably would be suppressed because it literally has Jewish question in it. But if you beat around the bush and put this asterisk in it, it still can know. You could put, reacting to the question going mainstream, and then you could get around it. What's up, guys? I see Keith Ward in here. She only wants to get ridden by dudes who know what it's like to get ridden wild. Jeff O'Donnell said, didn't Malcolm X already state the difference between wolves and the foxes? The foxes are the chosen ones. Yep. How interesting that Grok means to understand in Hebrew. I didn't know that. That's the first I've heard of that. That is very interesting. I want to look that up real quick. Are you serious, man? Why? Wow. I'm just looking that up real quick. What does Grok mean? I don't even know if I ever looked that up. I think I saw Elon talking about it, but okay, I don't see it that quickly. But so I just pointed out, and I didn't put a conclusion with it, and that I did not put a conclusion with it because honestly, I don't know if I don't have a conclusion. And I usually talk about people who put stuff without conclusions, which I rarely do, or takeaway. But I did go deeper into it. So just to defend myself here, I don't have an end takeaway on this. I'm not making a definitive statement at this point. I don't know what the definitive statement would be at this point. But right now, I'm just in the noticing stage. So I'm noticing, so I take the video and I quote tweet the video. And this is what I said is just basically my noticing statement. And maybe I'll do that for like future ones. I'll just put noticing so you can just see it's just to note that BuzzFeed sold the company to George Soros's fund management in December. So let's get deeper into this. Like, where are we going with that? So somebody said, so what? I think, so this person here, we had a conversation on X. I thought it was interesting. This K King says, we got to start publicly shaming losers like this. They're talking about me. ONG, I think that means on God. I'm again, I'm almost 50, believe it or not. ONG, man. I don't know if he means OMG, but I think he means on God. ONG, man, cause how else are these clowns gonna learn better? Vague. This is what we see from most people. They don't know what's going on. They just see something that I think I'm supposed to call it hateful, so I'll publicly shame, and I don't know what's happening. And what he's doing is he's literally replying to my question of what's the name of the show, who owns it, and are any of them Jewish? So I can understand if you're a normie, you're like, well, why are you asking that? But he didn't do that. He or she didn't do that. I think it's probably a gay male, but I don't know. And I don't have any beef with them. You'll see it ended. I thought it ended, on a civil note. We got to start publicly shaming losers like this. You don't even, what did I do? I asked the question. So if he would have said, why does it matter? I think that would have been more legit. So I posted here a reply that BuzzFeed had sold it, what we just talked about. And then this person said, and what's the difference? And many people watching the channel might say the same thing. And many people who are watching the channel don't watch the channel anymore because of the path that we're on. And life, that's how life works. I mean, we're on different paths, different wavelength. People need different things from different people. So this person, K King, says, and basically replied to me saying, and so what if George Soros's company bought it? What difference does that make, honestly? My question is, which is the bigger issue with Doshi for you? Being black or being bisexual? When did I say I had an issue with Doshi? So I might have an issue with Doshi, but we're not talking. I said, what's the name of the show, who owns it, and are any of them Jewish? How did we get to Doshi there? I didn't make any comment about Doshi. I probably have some words for Doshi, but I don't know that person that much. That's not where the angle I was going. So this is a lack of reading comprehension. This is cognitive dissonance. So I said, I'm still working through my thoughts, and this goes to the larger JQ. That's why I wanted to start with this. This is the larger JQ. I'm still working through my thoughts here. Here's some observations. We have high IQ individuals. And I'm just looking at it. And if you believe in race realism, and if you believe the Jays are a race or ethnic group, there are patterns you can notice. And the pattern that I notice is just intellectually, they seem to be high IQ to me. You can say a lot of things about these Jays, but one thing that I don't think you can say is that they're really stupid. Let's look at even Libs of TikTok, who, remember, she had that horrible interview with Taylor Lorenz, where Taylor Lorenz just ate her lunch. And she didn't come across very smart there. But she's still a social media beast. You can say what you want about Ashley St. Clair. She's a social media beast, whether artificially boosted or not. She's very good, talented, knows what she's doing. Haya Rychek is very talented, knows what she's doing. These are not stupid people. If you think they're stupid people, you are making a very big mistake in, and this is not a kinetic war, but The Art of Informational War by Sang Soo. If you are underestimating, I forget the exact quote on here, but it's basically saying, do not underestimate your enemy. And we're talking about religious, potentially, and political enemy. And that's not everyone. So it's not everyone, but generally speaking, the Zionists, we are. I'm anti-Zionist, anti-Israel. So obviously, they would be my political enemy. And that's, if you look at the book Art of War, what was it, Sun Tzu? What is the name of the person that I forgot the name already? I talk about it all the time. Sun Tzu, or whatever the name is of the author there. It's a great book. You can't underestimate your enemy. I don't want to overestimate either, but that's the observation I have. And the IQ is in certain things. The IQ is not in morality. It's not. If you had an IQ for just morality, it would be a complete zero failure for the group as a whole. But when you talk about subversive behavior, power structures, money, it's a whole different thing. But I'm just saying it in general here. They are manipulating the society using particular low IQ individuals. That's what happened with, in my opinion, the Civil Rights Act. The Civil Rights Movement was led by Jays to manipulate low IQ people who were brought over here via slavery, typically strong, at that time, spiritual, a lot of strengths with slaves, and my ancestors are slaves through England. Strong resolve to make it through slavery. It wasn't just blacks or Africans enslaved, but there are strengths and weaknesses to all. There's no kind of one group's better than other. No, that when we talk about everybody's equal in the eyes of God, it's almost like you are, I hate to put it to a video game, but you're playing a video game and maybe you choose the tank group. Let's say they're programmed to be actually equal in battle, but the tank group is slower, just more powerful. And the race car group is very weak with their attack, but they move very fast. Everybody has pros and cons, men and women, all races, to me, equal on earth. Some are better at other things, though. So I'm just seeing the observation, and to me, it looks like Jays in particular are manipulating low IQ individuals, ignorant individuals, into socially cultivating demonic and depraved culture. I don't know what that percentage is. I don't even know how you would calculate that percentage. I don't have the totals of everybody running. You saw Kanye West with that famous where he held up I think it was all the CEOs or whatever with the red and the green. I don't know what the numbers look like, but I'm seeing a pattern. And I said, my problem here isn't with the gays, is with the Jays. I'm seeing a pattern. Pattern recognition is one of the most basic survival instincts of humans and on all animals. It is given to all of us as a gift by God. For someone to try to go against my basic instincts of pattern recognition is problematic to me. If I am some type of animal, I just pick a deer, whatever, antelope, whatever these deer are in the wild that you see on National Geographic. I'm an antelope, and I go to a watering hole, and I notice every time I go to the watering hole, I smell, because I have a strong sense of smell as part of my defense, I smell a female lion going on a hunt. Nancy Mace, the female lions are the ones without the manes. I smell them because they're the ones that hunted. The male lions are lazy. They sat on their ass all day. They were basically Homer Simpson, unless they had to be in for the big boys. The women were hunting, cleaning, cooking. The male lions were chilling, just being the male lion. So every time I go to the watering hole, I smell a female lion. And because I smell a female lion, I have to go away. My instincts tell me, I don't know if it's there. I didn't do the math, but my instincts, I smell something doesn't smell right. So I'm going to leave. That's my instincts. And I'm going there and somebody tells me, no, don't worry about your instincts. You didn't do the math. What's the math? You're seeing stuff, you're smelling stuff, but don't look over there. Don't look at the bushes. Don't look around. Just drink the water. That's what it feels like. No, I'm going to trust my instincts. I see something that I want to dig into more. I'm not going to get over my skis. I'm not going to say there's 30 lions and all the female lions want to do. That's not my take. That's why you see them. And I actually have a problem with Andrew Tate. I really have Andrew Tate went on with Patrick Bet David. He went on with, was he with Theo Vaughn talking? It was him. I think it was Theo Vaughn. One other show, and I saw 2 clips, and he was on there saying, well, here's the problem with some people and the JQ. They say it's all J's. Why are you saying that? There's no reason to say that other than because you're not being specific. You're being general, no different than Jerry Boring, Laura Loomer, all that. That's a no-go. And if you know, I'm not the biggest Tate guy. I'm a big Nick Fuentes guy. I'm not a big Tate guy. He says some good things. I do not rock with Tate like the others. And I respect Nick kind of vouches for him. I don't rock with him like that. I don't trust him like that. Because you see little things like this. Why would he say that? You don't see Nick Fuentes going on with Elijah Schaffer and saying, oh, you know what? It's not all, you might say that. I don't really hear him say that, but not in the way that that Tate said it. I don't have the clip handy there. But the way Tate said it made it sound like, oh, this is all these people that just think the Jays did everything. Who, like all these nobodies? Like who? Name somebody. Who are you talking about? The people I follow don't do that. Not the people I follow and respect. They might do it as a joke or something like that. But when it comes to talking real talk, they can talk real talk. That's why you're not specific when you say it. You're just trying to gatekeep. You're trying to do something that is subversive that I don't want a part of. So I don't like that. If you're trying to get me to go against my instincts without me really saying, hey, I'm going to show you a lot of proof, because if your spidey senses are tingling, it's something on there. I talked to my wife and she says, hey, I'm feeling this way about work or whatever the case is. I said, well, first of all, trust your instincts. Trust but verify. Don't ever. You're a woman and you have a natural gift of intuition. I think you have better intuition than me. You can have a problem when you turn your intuition into fact, but I think you need to trust yourself and maybe open the door. You think that there's something behind the door, peek inside and see and verify. Don't say, oh, I can't think like this because it's a... No, just be in control of your emotions. That's a whole different thing than your instincts. Never tell anybody to go against your instincts. If somebody's telling me to go against my instinct, I am looking at you as a problem. You need to do some serious discussing here to tell me why my instincts are wrong. You need to be very respectful to my instincts, and you need to be very in depth. And because I get in depth, I don't just say the instinct. I don't just say it's all the J's to do this and that. No. I have a problem in general because I'm seeing a pattern. And then I went on to tell him, if you don't believe this is depravity, so now I'm sectioning this off. We might not need to have a conversation. Because if you think Doshi or whatever her dumbass name is, having a conversation with another black saying the biggest, like this is funny to you or me, the biggest red flag when I go on a date is that it's a straight black man. If you don't think that's depravity, then we don't need to have a discussion. We just disagree. Why are you even talking to me? Your morality is not my morality. That's subjective, right? You do you, I'll do me, and we'll continue on with our lives. Why are we even talking? Of course we're not going to agree on the JQ. We don't even agree on the depravity of the situation. And then this person said, I need to be called out, which is perfectly fine. If you want to call me out, go call me out. And I might think that you need to be called out as well. Shamed, mocked, and ridiculed. So here we are. This person, K. King, responded, said, if you don't have any answers and your conclusion, while not having any answers, this is like we're at the watering hole. I kind of I smell like there could be attack because I'm vulnerable here. And this person saying, if you don't know for sure, and your conclusion while not having any answers is just to blame the Jays, then you aren't looking for answers. That doesn't make any sense. My head's up. I'm looking. Trust me. You're looking for a justification for hate. I'm at the watering hole. I just want to be protected. I want to be safe. And I think that there's a danger out there, and you're calling my instincts hate. Excuse me? There might be hate, not that I'm happy about it, but it's directed at you at this point because what you're saying makes no sense. It sounds like you're trying to cover for somebody. And then they say, really genuinely consider that as much as you think the media may be lying, and went on with more. I said, I never blamed the Jays for anything. You won't ever find a tweet from me for blaming. I'm seeing what I'm putting responsibility on for who's hosting, who's controlling the money, who's doing these things. If we get into the specifics, blame is a whole thing in saying that it's their fault that something's happening. You will never, ever find a quote from me blaming any group for, well, I will attach responsibility, but I will not be blaming. That's the definition of being a victim. I don't use the term Jewish supremacy. I think that is what does that term mean? They think they're supreme. So why would I call that supremacy? I would call that idiocy. It just doesn't work for me. And whatever, it's semantics. But I don't use that term, and I don't blame them for anything. I played that Tommy Sotomayor clip, and that clip hits home so hard. I haven't played it in a while. I might be going to go get it. That clip hit so hard because in the rant, he's going off on the Jays. He's saying, basically, how am I being called out for giving the group credit for how good they are? That's basically where he got to on the clip. And if I felt that, because I'm like, he's right. I had already thought that before, but the way he said it just had the right, passion to it. I'm like, you're right. That's a little weird, isn't it? Why would that be a problem for me to say that you're good at things? And you might think it's a backhanded compliment. I think that would be the argument. I would disagree. I don't think it's a backhanded anything. Here's the clip that I'm referring to from Tommy Sotomayor.
I'm sorry to not only the Jewish community, but to my family members. I'm sorry to not only the Jewish community, but to my family members.
Jews think they got that much damn gravitas to where I need to be reprogrammed and sit down with one of they motherfucking rabbis? Fuck you and your rabbi.
I'm sorry to.
So
being good with money.
This part right here.
Have you noticed they get mad when you make jokes about Jews being good with money? Why are they upset about being?
Why would you be upset about? Literally, the take is very good with money. Well, why is that upsetting to you? Huh? I've never heard that before. Have you ever heard that before?
You make jokes about Jews being good with money? Why are they upset about being good with money?
Can somebody answer that for me? Why would you be upset about that? Is that a negative thing? I don't understand.
That makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It does not adding up. That's not a joke. That's it's a rhetorical question, but there's no answer to it. It's not a diss.
Until you look at the context of it, that a lot of countries, they were kicked out because of how they.
Now that makes sense. You don't want to talk about it because it takes you down a path that you don't want the conversation to go. I didn't blame Jays for anything. I didn't give him nothing but being talented. This is basically my whole life. Never had any problems. I've noticed, though, even before I've done in high school, I remember noticing. Being very talented with money, being subversive. That's the best word I can use. Espionage, knowledge. Basically, here's what I would say. Being able to manipulate information very well. That's a skill. What am I doing now? I'm trying to manipulate information. That's what I'm trying to do. They're the best. Well, I don't know if they're very good at it. Might be the best. Then have a disproportionate effect on society when I don't know what it feels like it's more than 2%. I don't know, is it 2 to 4%? You look at Argentina, it's largely, I did the numbers on it. The number of Jays there are very, very small. You got a pro Jay, one of the biggest Zionists in the world, is your president now. How's that happen? And then he does a rug pull. He does a Ponzi scheme rug pull. Congratulations to Argentina and libertarians for that. They have a disproportionate effect on society politically and culturally. They protect each other. They stay tight-knit. They're focused on one goal. They're impressive. Where's the blame? If you thought I was blaming them for anything, let's clear that up now. They're the only group that looks at those things as if they're blame, disrespectful, or bigoted. Name me another group that looks at that. If I said the Africans were good with money, they'd be like, bet. Yeah, we try. We bribe. We do what we try. Like, what group feels that's disrespectful? When you say the Asians are value education, when have you ever heard them say that? Don't say that about us. When have you ever heard that? And then I transitioned to, I believe, in the essence, the original essence of America, which was founded by white Christian males, young white Christian, courageous young white Christian males. They were very well off, and they had a lot to lose. They could have easily sold out to Britain at the time and said, you know what, we'll just manipulate the ones underneath us and we'll keep our money. We don't have to worry about being unlived in war. What was the motivation for the rich? These founders were all well off and rich. Almost all of them had slaves. No poor people had slaves really back then. Well, why would they risk all that? And they could have been puppets for Britain. Why would they risk that? Because they believed in a higher power. That's why. That's the group we talked about with Nick doing the reaction with Elijah Schaffer. And this clip went viral with Charlie Kirk. And the clip was basically Charlie Kirk saying, yeah, you could swap out whites. I'm just speculating. I'm just paraphrasing. This isn't exactly how it was. But basically, you could swap out the country with a bunch of Pajeets and it would still be America. I think it's a great, philosophical question to ask. It takes down a really good thought pattern to say, what is America? Very good question. I think it was some student that asked him that. That's the whole point of doing those debates, right, Charlie? Not just to own some stupid, left, corporate left college student, 18-year-old. The country that we're in right now is not the land. The land is, I don't think there's anything special at all about our land. Not here. What's special was the thought process of saying we're going to be dependent of the country we came from, the most powerful, badass navy in the world by far at the time. Could you imagine going overseas and then pissing off the baddest? And they still had a good army, not just on land, not just on sea. Could you imagine that? And you have a lot to lose. Imagine you're in a mansion, you're in control of the country. All you have to do is say, hey, King, we'll just do what you say. We'll pretend to be puppets. That's what's happening now in our country. That's what's happening now. When you take the 1% of influencers, you take them and you give them a binder full of nothing burgers and they smile for the cameras. I mean, they're not the top, but that's what's happening. Donald Trump takes $300 million from Elon, takes all this money from the Jays and the J interests. You see the APAC tracker giving all this money out. It's really the opportunity cost, so you don't get treated potentially like anybody who pushes back and says, no, I don't want to, so you don't get the J APAC money, and then also that they spend 10 times that much against you. So the people in charge politically, in entertainment, everywhere, you see it here, they all fall in line. The founding fathers didn't fall in line. It's tough to talk about it because as soon as you say founding fathers, it sounds corny as hell, but that is what happened. There's no way to get around that. That's the birth of the country. Is courageous young white men that said, I don't care. We are rebellious. We will die for this. Don't care. We don't want to. They didn't start a war. They said, if you leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. We're not trying to acquire land. We don't want to go across the whole damn Atlantic Ocean. We had to come over here. We don't want you to come across the Atlantic Ocean. We just want to say, make a deal and we're out. That was the take. But they knew that wasn't, the war had already started before they declared the independence in that manner, but they knew that was going to be the path. There's no other, so the discussion of, does Pajit come here, does do a billion of the goat mess eating Pajits come here and it's still America? Well, let's talk about that, though. I talked about it before, but let's talk about that. That is, could that happen? Yeah, that could happen. The chances are lower than winning the lotto, but America is an idea. It's not the land. What else is it? It's an idea founded by the white Christian males. I think the problem is the disconnect that I have with people who don't think it's an idea is because the people who don't think it's an idea or don't want to say that believe that if you go down the ideal route, then you're taking race out of it. Well, I'm not taking race out of it. I'm not. It is an idea that could only have been started by white Christian males. It can be upheld, though. It has to be, guys. The white Christian male population is cucked, weak, diminishing. So it's going to have to be non-white. I don't know what else you think this is going to happen. You're going to have to ally with other groups, the Browns, somebody. You're going to have to ally with them. That's what MAGA kept telling me with their larger tent. I'm not talking about a larger tent. You're going to need to ally with like-minded people to keep the ideals going. So I say that this country is an idea that will only be upheld with a base of white Christian males and then people who support it. If the Jeets come and they have, I know it's damn near impossible because you have different moral standards, but it still is possible to have a different view on faith and believe in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. That is possible. It was founded by Christian values, but it's not directly Christian. That's a very important thing to know. So I'm trying to break all this down to this person. This is probably a lot for a normie, but you know how it is. I know these are notes for lives while I'm doing it. So that's really my motivation. So we're back to talking about the blame. So who am I going to blame? Well, assign responsibility on. It's all of us, number one. We live here. It's on everybody. But the core group I'm going to have to blame are white Christian males. I'm going to have to take, I don't know what's going on. White Christian males are just completely, they're in the corner with the chair just watching the Lady Liberty getting violated by the whole world. That's what's happening. And there's no demographic more important. I talk about it damn near every live. Who are you gonna call on? You're the ones telling me that it has to be the white. So I don't know. I'm telling you back what you're telling me. You're the one telling me, and I agree. You can't take a look at black women. You can't do that. Take a look at black men. What, 15% at most? And then how many of them are Zionists or not even aligned? What? How many? 5 to 8%? So what's that going to do? That's not going to do anything. You want as many people as possible, but the core group that has to bear responsibility for the lack of protection of the ideals of this country are white Christian males. And now you see why I'm such a big supporter of the Groypers, because they are the only that I see. I don't see everybody, but as a group, they are the only courageous core of white Christian males. Remember, Nick had that one statement. That's why, I was going through this, and the first time I saw that, I laughed awkwardly because I didn't know what was going on. Like, wait, what's going on? AFPAC 3. What's the secret sauce? It's these white. If you're a Groyper, you know what I'm talking about. But I think this is important to talk about because a lot of people who follow the channel kind of don't know like where I'm coming from this. That was AFPAC 3. Feels like ages ago, man. Doesn't AFPAC 3 feel like that was a long time ago? That's crazy. But he was like, what's the secret sauce? And it's courageous because a lot of people are afraid to even say the term. Most don't even say the term. As far as white men, in general. So that's the group that has to really step up. And I say in general, it's a man's job to care for their society and culture. You stop me if you disagree with any of this. For black males, y'all got a serious problem. And I've been talking about it, been saying it. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what. Any straight black male has just, and that's not a lot. What, 15%? I don't know how much Trump got of black males in the exit polls. What? That's not a lot. And that's just Trump supporter. That's not even enough to say what they really believe. I mean, they could be a Trump supporter like a Rob Smith. He's a black Trump supporter. Is that really your ally? Definitely not to the Groypers. For black males to see this and be unbothered is telling about the state of black males. If somebody wants to be gay, I don't care. Scott Pressler, if you want to be gay, I don't care. I'm more libertarian in that manner than others. What does it have to do with me? That's your life behind closed doors. Remember, I made fun of, what was his name? How do I forget his name? The Fannie Willis, Nathan Wade? I forgot his name. Wow. The guy who I made fun of, who I said he was probably licking, was his name Fannie Willis? Fannie's toes. Because she was the dominant one. Behind closed doors, you do what you do, bro. That had nothing to do with me. So I don't care. But if you're going to promote this demonic lifestyle, we're going to have a problem. I'm going to have a problem with you. I'm going to talk about it because I didn't ask you to promote it. You promoted it. The goal is to get views. It went viral. Same can happen to me, whatever the case is. You're putting a video out there. It goes viral. That's what you asked for. You wouldn't have put it out there, or you shouldn't have put it out there if you didn't want that. So if you're promoting that, then I'm going to have something to say about it. If you would have done that behind closed doors, I wouldn't have known and had nothing to say. If you're going to try to make that legitimate culture really targeting at kids, it's only young people into that stuff, 26 and under? You get older, over 26, you probably don't have a lot of time for that. You listen to the songs and maybe go to the club a little bit, but you don't have that much time to be following them like that. And then I said, we can't share a society like this. Christian men cannot allow this. Peacefully, you cannot allow this. We cannot allow this. That's why I say peacefully secede, leave. With Christians controlled, the essence of America is dead. I don't care if you call that hatred. We don't share the same moral foundation, so why would I care if you call that hatred? And that's what I criticize the Jays on. That is an area that I do very strongly criticize the Jays on, and they should. I mean, I should. I mean, they would criticize me probably. They don't have, their morality is warped. And when I ask for a definition of what a J is, no one's ever answered that for me. What is a J? What's the concise definition of a J? There's no definition. So what that means is it's a fancy country club. It's just a club, which is fine. You can have a club and be religious or ethnic or whatever you want to call it. But my critical point is still going to be your morality. We don't share the same morality, and that's going to come to a problem at some point. There's some people who call themselves Christians and we don't share the same morality. So it doesn't matter if it's Jays or not. Jeremy Boring and I do not share the same moral foundation. I don't even consider him Christian. Ultimately, that's up to God to judge, but I can assess the situation, and you have to assess the situation on earth. And that's not a religious ally. That's not a political ally. That's not a Christian ally for me. I don't view him as a Christian. If you call him Christian, we're way too far apart. So it's not just about Jays. But that's where I criticize them, and that's a subjective take. So that's not saying Jays control the world. That's saying what Jays believe in is not defined. They can't even define it themselves. And your morality doesn't match mine. That's a subjective take. Hopefully it's okay to still have those. It sounds like the right doesn't want those anymore. So it looks like that. I'm going to end that rant there. Let's take a look at the comments. Let me play some music or something and then look at the next. It's already, we're fast forwarding an hour, right? Ooh. Already going to lose an hour. Ooh. I like to fast forward back, but I do want to end the whole daylight saving time thing. It's stupid. It's not good. I'm going to play some music, then get myself together here. Space Hose, MF Doom. Take a look at some of the comments. Acadia says the very moment they legalized sodomy, everything went downhill. When was that moment? Play some music and look that up. Chill out a little bit, then we'll get into the next topic. MF Doom had some fun beats. And then he had some dark ones too. Was that 2003? What? I'm looking at when sodomy became legal. I found detailed information about the decriminalization of sodomy in the United States, including key milestones such as Illinois being the first state to repeal its sodomy law in 1961. And then the landmark Supreme Court case Lawrence v. Texas in 2003 that invalidated remaining sodomy laws. Wow. That's crazy because when you go back to time, it kind of feels like even the 90s were good, but the early 2000s were still dope too. Is that when you were talking about? Yeah, that is. Acadia says, I know it was recent. Wow, I didn't even know that. Gosh, what is going on? Should we look into how that happened? Should we look into how that happened? Or is that one of those questions that's a little, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I obviously didn't know. I just like to ask the question and I'm not going to do it now. Mike has bad knees. What's up? I guess it depends on how sodomy is defined as well. Yeah, that's a good question. We're talking about sodomy, everyone. Saturday night. What's good? We're listening to MF Doom, and are you enjoying the sodomy talk tonight? Yeah. Oh, Figaro. See, I gotta listen to songs that are gonna get my channel pulled. Money Folders, Figaro. I've been in a music kick recently. I'm gonna get back to topics at some point, I think. I can go on a music kick and just never get back to the trite world of right-wing topics where the JQ is being debated. I'm in the mood to listen to like the MF Doom. I think they pull these, but if they pull these, have fun, everyone. Have a good night. The Money Folder remix was cold. Not the Fortet remix. Ooh, this one here. I won't let the beat drop on this one. Money Folder. The remix. Mad Villain. Mad Villainy. Just wait till the beat drop, man. Doom was so dope. Man. The great ones always go early, man. Jimmy, Miles, name them. They all they all go, not all of them, but Michael, damn, man, they all go early, man. That music, it's just, there's something about them, man, where it's just, I think there's just that brilliance, that genius. It kind of, I don't know if it leans to a shorter lifespan. You do drugs and all that kind of stuff they do. I never had the heart to do that. But I think people who think in that esoteric world, I don't know what Ye does, but that's my concern with Ye. Hang in there, Ye. You can fight those demons, bro. I was doing prep for an article on Ye. Let's talk about that. That's actually, I heard that Ye might go on with Rogan. Y'all hear that? Let me look that up. I was looking that up last night. Let me look at Rogan and Ye. This is really interesting, actually. And he's trying to do something here. He always has some project he's working on, which is great. There's not a diss, but he's always got something in the iron there. Let's see what I looked up here. This is Perplexity. Oh, and you know what? I should just have Perplexity read him. I'm gonna get Perplexity on the phone and just have Perplexity. I'm too lazy, man. I'm an American black man. I don't have time to read. I can't read, man. I can't pronounce these words, man. Let me get some help, man. Bear with me. Let's see here. So let's look at this. Let's play this here.
Kanye West, the artist now known as Ye, and Joe Rogan, the influential podcast host, have reportedly entered discussions for a high-profile interview set to air on Ye's nascent platform, Yeezy TV. While neither party has officially confirmed the collaboration.
So you hear that? So it looks like Ye is going to potentially do an interview with Rogan, and I want to just back that up on pause on let's see. Okay, he's in a high-level discussion, so it's not set in stone, it sounds like. I have to look at the source here. They get some stuff wrong sometimes, but according to Perplexity, at least, before I check the sources, on Ye's nascent platform, what is that? Oh, okay, his new platform, basically, Yeezy TV. So and then I did some searching on that. I'm like, wait, Yeezy TV? So the smart thing about Ye, and this article talks about it, remember he did that Super Bowl ad. He's so brilliant. Just an absolutely brilliant dude. He did the Super Bowl ad on his phone. And that was it was because he wanted to project just that raw, and it was like 10 seconds or something like that. And it worked. He just knows, like, when everybody's going left, you might have to cut back. You know how running backs, everybody's going left. Let me do a Barry Sanders and just juke and then come back right. And he just knows when to juke. And you see people copying his style with the baggy stuff now. He was ahead of the game. He's always ahead of the game. I saw Justin Bieber basically copying Ye's style from, it's years old now. Ye's going to move on to the next style. And then he's a trendsetter. He's not a follower. He was supported Trump before the blacks did. He's always ahead of the curve. Man, I just wish he would do more albums like Jesus is King, man. That album was so good. That's peak Ye right there. So let's get back to it. What's he doing here?
Social media speculation and industry insiders suggest the conversation could redefine media dynamics in 2025. This report synthesizes historical context, recent developments, and broader cultural trends to evaluate the significance of this potential collaboration. Drawing from their previous interactions, Ye's evolving platform strategies, and Rogan's role as a cultural interlocutor.
It's smart of Ye, and he's probably thinking this. Was he already on that? Was he on Joe Rogan before? I don't remember that. He went on Joe Rogan when he had the alien ship for a little bit? That was right after he moved. He only had that for a little bit. People didn't like that set. I mean, looking back at it, it's not as bad as I thought. It was just the jarring change, I guess. Everybody doesn't like change. But looking back at the set, I know it's a little pinkish looking here, but it actually doesn't look that bad because the current set kind of looks dated. But I remember I didn't particularly like the new set either. I wasn't that hard. I wasn't that harsh against it. But so, Ye was gonna throw out. I might talk with Rogan, and he might never talk to Rogan because Rogan is a normie like Tim Pool, and that didn't go well. No, Ye's not gonna have before he did Tim Pool. He did Alex Jones. He was all over. He did Gavin McInnes. He did the Lex Friedman before Tim Pool, I believe, too. They were everywhere. Nick, Milo, and Ye were everywhere. They hit it too hard. Then they went to Tim Pool, and I think Ye had. It took a lot of energy for Ye to jump from his creative mindset to the political, where you have to be on point. Like Ian Carroll on there, Dave Smith on there. It is difficult to rattle through all these things that they've got in their head, and they are on point 99% of this time, which is impressive. And that's not really Ye's strength. Ye's strength is the creative side. So it's mentally draining, in my opinion, for Ye to jump into the politics. For Nick Fuentes to do it, that's where he lives. Maybe there's something else. He's creative too, I think, but there's something else maybe that he's not good at. Maybe social. Maybe it's being sociable. I'm just guessing, whatever. That's me personally. To be sociable at a party and, yuckying it up and stuff like that. I can do that, but it drains my mental energy because it's not my natural state. For me to just read or search on AI, I could do that literally all day, because it's just my natural state to be logic and to go through these things. And he crashed out on Tim. Tim started the interview terrible, but Ye was fatigued and he shouldn't have left. I don't know if my point is, I don't know if he wants to have a conversation with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is basically very similar in that manner to Tim. He's a better interviewer. He won't start off whack like Tim did. Ugh. But Tim has a different show, though. Tim didn't want to change the show for Ye. He doesn't change the show for anybody, which is fine. So there's a less chance that would happen, but Joe Rogan is a normie. And Joe Rogan, there were some leaked messages already where, I don't know if they're accurate or not, but it looked like Joe Rogan said, "Yay, you said some troubling things on X to me. I want to talk to you about it." Huh? I said some troubling things to you? I didn't mention your name. What did I say that was troubling to you? You're a UFC fighter. What are you, feminine? What are you talking about? Some troubling things to you. Joe Rogan is a normie, and I don't know if he's faking or not because he's very knowledgeable on certain things, but I don't know what what Ye gets out of that. Other than maybe the pub, he will get huge pub to do it, or if he had Rogan come on his platform. Rogan doesn't really do that.
Analysis explores how this interview could address themes of creative autonomy, censorship, and the intersection of celebrity and politics. Historical context of Ye and Joe Rogan's relationship. Kanye West's first appearance on House. The Joe Rogan.
Mike Has Bad Knees says long conversations with Kanye are difficult to get through. And it is. Because he has kind of a... he's probably like me. I think a lot of us, and I'll speak for myself, but I think a lot of people, just because of the devices and everything else, in the curated short form content, we have ADHD, right? Attention deficit something disorder. And I think Kanye has that, where he kind of gets bored after a quick little bit. He actually had a good sit down with Tucker, and I think 40 minutes is the max. You go on Joe Rogan, and that's probably a reason why he might not want to do that. Joe Rogan does 3 hours with like one bathroom break. And I like that myself, but that's not a Ye platform. Even though I have ADHD, it's more like, oh, I want to talk about Ye. Oh, I want to talk about Rogan. So I'm chasing butterflies, not as much as I can't do a long form conversation. But I agree with you, Mike. It's tough. That's why the Alex Jones one, in a way, it went off the rails early, but I think part of it too was just the longevity of knowing how long it was going to be. But it kept getting extended, so I don't know if it was really supposed to be that long. Acadia says, exactly, I absorb so much I can remember how things happen chronologically, but I'm bad when it comes to exact dates and names of history when it dissolves 1, 4, 10. Are they talking about the shoes? Oh, you're talking about the dates maybe of the SCOTUS and all that. Oh wait, it's Mike has bad knees. I thought it was. Oh man, I'm tripping. That was you. I thought it was Broken Traditions in the chat when I first looked at it, but it's Mike has bad knees. Okay. Yeah. So let's go back to this here.
Experience. In October 2020, marked a pivotal moment in both figures' careers. Over 3 hours, Ye articulated his views on spirituality, systemic racism, and the music industry, framing his thoughts as a symphony of ideas.
I completely forgot that. I will revisit that. Rogan copyrights clips on YouTube, so that's the only reason why I haven't done more Rogan reacts. But I want to revisit that.
That defied linear discourse. Rogan, known for his conversational interviewing style, allowed Ye to meander through topics ranging from his presidential ambitions to critiques of corporate control over creativity. Key takeaways included Ye's assertion that medication blocked his ability to channel what God wanted him to do, and his critique of Hollywood's commodification of Black identity. This interview established a template for Ye's unorthodox communication style, which Rogan later described as akin to conversing with a mentally ill genius who spews rants for hours. Despite the challenges of volleying dialogue, Rogan praised Ye's 500-watt thought process, acknowledging his capacity to connect disparate ideas, a trait that would later...
So Rogan called him a mentally ill genius. Wow. And I guess that's similar to what I say, but I don't like that framing. I would not say that exact quote. I do say there's a thin line between brilliance and insanity, but I just talked about it. I wouldn't qualify it with he's a mentally ill, brilliant person.
Fuel both admiration and controversy. Following the 2020 interview, Rogan continued to engage with Ye's career trajectory, often defending his creative autonomy even as controversies mounted. In 2024, Rogan criticized Adidas for severing ties with Ye over
I didn't know that. I forgot it.
anti-Semitic remarks, noting the irony of a company founded by Nazis moralizing about ethics.
Yeah.
He also lauded Ye's resilience, stating that madness inside of him is why his songs are bangers.
Absolutely.
Conversely, Ye has referenced Rogan's platform as a rare space for free communication, particularly after his bans from mainstream social media. The evolution of Yeezy TV as a disruptive media platform.
I don't want to get carried away about Rogan's platform. Has anybody ever criticized Peter Thiel on Rogan's platform? I don't watch Rogan like that. I mean, I watch clips and listen to podcasts in the car and stuff, but I don't know his material like the best Rogan fans out there. Like I used to know Tim Pool's damn near every day, all his material, but I don't think that's fully free, and that's understandable. That's, if you don't know, Peter Thiel was a part of the founders of Spotify.
Yeezy TV emerged as an extension of Ye's earlier ventures, including the Yeezy Gap collaboration, which aimed to democratize high-fashion aesthetics. The platform's ethos, rooted in anti-establishment rhetoric, was crystallized in Ye's 2024 Super Bowl commercial, a self-produced iPhone video filmed during a dental appointment. The ad's lo-fi aesthetic and
That's so dope. I think that's when he got his new teeth in. So dope of a concept. If you want to be anti-establishment, basically anti-tiny hats is what he's going at. What's better than the million he paid millions for it, but the ad in the Super Bowl is a iPhone. And it stands out from the rest of the ads. And it's like, well, anyone can pick up a phone and do this. You don't have to have a production studio. You don't have to know AI and all that.
Of traditional marketing norms exemplified Yee's belief that authenticity trumps polish, a philosophy likely to shape Yeezy TV's content. Yee's 2025 interview with Justin Layboy on the Download series, hosted on Yeezy.com, offers a blueprint for his approach to media.
Has anybody heard that?
The teaser, featuring unexplained laughter and cryptic exchanges, leveraged ambiguity to generate viral engagement. This strategy aligns with Yee's history of surprise album drops and impromptu fashion shows, suggesting Yeezy TV will prioritize spontaneity over scripted content.
Smart.
Anticipation and speculation around the Ye Rogan interview. Rumors of the collaboration gained traction in early 2025 after Rogan mentioned Ye's resilience during a podcast episode with rapper Raekwon, stating, "His ego cannot handle rejection, but his..."
Oh wow. Ye did an episode with Raekwon. Where is all this happening? On his website? I'm not into hip hop as much, but that's some legendary stuff.
Creativity is unmatched. Meanwhile, Ye's cryptic Instagram posts, including a since-deleted image of Rogan's studio, tagged Shas Yeezy TV, fueled fan theories. Industry analysts speculate the interview could address 1. Ye's recent controversies, including his swastika-themed merchandise and claims of dominion over his wife, Bianca Censori. 2. Creative independence, building on Rogan's 2024 defense of Ye's right to challenge censorship. 3. Political aspirations, revisiting Ye's 2020 presidential campaign and potential 2028 run. Sources close to Ye suggest the interview's structure remains fluid.
I just can't. I can't get behind another run. It's just he burns too hot, and I know. I think he has to mature a little bit as far as pacing himself. I'm not gonna be against. I wouldn't say I would never, but I'm not gonna be against Ye. But I just don't. I don't see. I'm not gonna be excited about a 2028 run. For what? Why?
With debates over whether to pre-record segments or stream live, a format fraught with risks given Ye's propensity for off-script
Wait,
remarks.
Rogan doesn't do live
Yeezy
though.
TV's moderation policies, still undefined, could further complicate matters, particularly if Ye insists on discussing topics like anti-Semitism or his marital disputes. Potential topics and controversies. Ye's 2024 swastika merchandise, which led Shopify to terminate his store, remains flashpoint. Rogan, who has previously critiqued woke censorship, may probe Ye's insistence that the symbol was meant to shock people into questioning taboos. However, Rogan's own platform...
It's funny how people look at stuff, and I understand the context of the swastika, but the swastika is not a negative symbol. I mean, there's an Indian place, and you probably have seen them a lot at Indian places, or there's an Indian place I go to that has them on the wall. It was never until you saw Germany adopt it, and then the whole narrative and everything around Germany is when people started looking at it as a negative. So if you just put a swastika on a shirt, again, Ye is showing it's really, what do you think it is? Because what did he say that would make it be a swastika be a bad thing? I don't know. I don't think he has. He had one moment on the Gavin McInnes show. I don't know if he was joking or not, where I thought he had maybe crossed the line, but other than that, I haven't really seen that.
Face scrutiny for hosting controversial figures, raising questions about complicity in normalizing hate speech. Ye's recent autism diagnosis, which he attributes to misdiagnosed bipolar disorder, could reframe discussions about his erratic behavior. Rogan, a vocal advocate for psychedelic therapy, might explore parallels between neurodivergence and artistic innovation, though this risks romanticizing mental health struggles. The interview could revisit Ye's impact on sneaker culture, particularly
sure.
the Yeezy foam runner, which he described as the future of design for its ergonomic form. Rogan, whose co-host Jamie famously collected Yeezys, may contrast Ye's creative process with industry pressures.
I never got the hype around the Yeezys. Never did a thing for me.
Implications for media and public perception. A Ye-Rogan collaboration would test the viability of celebrity-owned platforms against traditional media. Yeezy TV's success hinges on balancing raw authenticity with responsible content moderation, a challenge given Ye's history of platforming extremist.
So that's what you have there. The Yeezy TV looks like it's going to be some type of platform. I don't know if it's going to be like a social media or if it's going to be just chosen. I think the smart thing would be to just make it free speech. The question I would have is like true free speech, like Gab. Oh, I mean, Gab's not, but as close. Gab is as close as you can get. I haven't been on Gab in a long time. Um, I would want him to go more the Gab route, but the problem is who hosts Gab has their own. I think Gab has their own servers now, don't they? Who's gonna host it? Amazon's not gonna host it. Well, you can't trust them. So that's the problem too. I don't know how you're gonna and to host your own servers is really expensive. So we'll see how that goes. If he's not planning on the servers, he's not gonna last long. They just pulled the rug out of him right away. He can't just put up a website. I mean, that's not gonna work. Everybody's in on it. Can't hide. Let's take a look and see what's up with the comments. I'm gonna get back to some music here. See what we got. Write your worst nightmare. I don't know the lyrics. Sell rhymes like dimes. Okay, Mike Has Bad Knees has the scoop on it. Thank you. Gab has their own servers. Rumble also has their own servers. So Ye has to have his own servers. He can't even, I wouldn't even mess with Rumble. I guess he would have to if Rumble can build you out, but I wouldn't even mess with Rumble. I mean, Rumble's good. Don't get me wrong. But there's problems there. Wasn't Peter Thiel involved there? Peter Thiel's involved with everything, man. This is crazy, man. Peter Thiel is involved with everything tech-wise. But or Peter Thiel like adjacent people. Remember, Nick had that speech and they pulled it. Rumble pulled his speech. That was a bad moment for Rumble. He said that, just paraphrasing, this is a battle. He didn't say, he said it out front, and we have to win this battle basically. And it's a religious, spiritual battle. And I think they pulled it because the optics were so hardcore. Remember when Nick, I don't know if you all saw that, if there's any Groypers around, you know this. Nick did those speeches with those things were dope. Was that Ye inspired or something? How did that come across or come about? Where he would do the speeches in front of the big screen and it's all dark. He would have the sunglasses on. Those were hard, Joe. Wow, those were hardcore. Because Nick and the Groypers are good at trying to do stuff but not be cliche. You know, like, okay, we're going to do a speech, but we're not going to be like Mitt Romney. We're not going to come up here and just do a speech, which, they have in the past, but always trying to keep it fresh. Mike Has Bad Knees says the circles are small when you get to that kind of money, so everyone is no more than 3 degrees away from each other. Yep. Base, I think that's exactly what we see. They all know each other. They're all in bed with each other. Yep. I'm gonna do potholders again. I just love how the rhythm on this beat is. This is complicated rhythm for a drummer, I think, and then jumping back and forth. That's a complicated rhythm right there. It's funky. Can we get Ye to do a verse on this? Don't tell me Ye wouldn't kill this. Man, too bad that Ye and Jay-Z only had that one album. That ain't happening anymore. Watch the Throne. They killed that album, though. I like that album. I hate to do this because I wrote an article on the website. I pulled the website down right now. It just goes to the Discord. You still go to middlemaga.com, but it'll go straight to the Discord because I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to rebrand and everything too. But because I'm out on MAGA. But that wasn't a joke or anything. I am out on MAGA. But I respected Scott Presler, the guy. I just did a video where I just praised him for that CNN clip. Remember that CNN clip where they followed him around and they kind of saw that he was in the streets and he's just very influential and knows how to kind of reach people and get people out to vote and very knowledgeable. And, people were like, hey, wow, you mess with Scott Presler like that? Or, pause. But, not like that. But it's like, I thought he was talented and he shows you how, even if you disagree with him, how to really win in politics is what I would say. And then he had this picture that came out with this Josh Cedar person who is just an unbelievable, classic Survasive tiny hat. Just a disgusting. Not a fan. I don't say that about a lot of people. From the first time I saw him in his grift, a grift that I wanted no part of. Oh my goodness. Ugh.
Is the frustration of people that
This is a CNN clip. It says, provocateur. This is Scott Presler on how he got an army of people to back Trump. And I'm just tired now of me kind of going out on a limb with my reputation to say, I still support this person. I still like this person. There's something that's still there that is admirable. And he came out, and then this Josh, I don't know what the relationship is. It's just completely unsavory stuff. But it's not funny. I don't know if they're joking or whatever. It's just not funny. That's the best, most generous cases. Like, you joke around with your boys like that. Remember, I crashed out on Michael B. Jordan and that other black, whatever his name was, they did that photo shoot when they were hugging up on each other. That shit was hilarious, man. But I was like, I don't know what this is, but this is, I want no part of it. They should have never released those pictures. And the same thing with Josh Cedar, whatever, this subversive, untrustworthy, basically flaming rainbow, transformer-ish tiny hat. And Scott is trying to do some stuff. I know he has I know about the past and all that, man, but he doesn't really put that out there anymore. Even this issue that I have, I'm not showing the video. The picture is just disgusting. I retweeted it just to comment on it, and Scott will see the post and he will reply often. He's very approachable, reachable. I've had back and forth with him before, pleasant ones before with him. I can't talk about I can't talk about him, man, because he's just in the space now. But we had discussions, and they were positive discussions. Got to be careful how you phrase stuff when you talk about these bros, man. These bros are gayer than the most gay Democrat you can find, man. And they're supposed to be not conservative, but on the right. And Scott didn't post this latest one. It's just I don't even want to describe it. It's an unsavory. It's a rainbow-ish, Pride Month-ish picture. Just the way he's framing it, very, very unsavory. Not like graphic in nature, but so Josh Cedar posts the picture, and this is the second time in a row, and I'm just wondering if he's trying to set Scott up, because Scott doesn't post these things. But the first time he posted an unsavory one, Scott replied, and it wasn't in a negative manner. If Scott had replied like, bro, why are you doing this? Then I would have been like, okay, I still rock with Scott. He didn't post this, but he would have still set up for the picture though. So I don't know how that goes, but even with that, if Scott would have said, nah, I don't roll like that, bro. Not that he doesn't roll like that, but I don't want to put that out there like that. That's not what I'm about right now. That's private stuff. Who are you? What are you doing? He didn't do that. And then I said, you know what? And I kind of I had a mini crash out on Scott, and I at him, who cares? I'm just a nobody. I was like, bro, don't let that stuff happen again. Today, Josh Cedar posts another one. So he's going back to back. And I haven't seen to this point Scott reply. I know he's busy doing other more important things, but this is his brand. If some bruh is posting pictures like that, I'm like, bruh, you don't even need to reply to him. Just, comment like, hey, I'm not, you can comment and say, I don't appreciate Josh's pictures because it's taken away from the goal right now. And the political right is already divided over the JQ, divided over this stuff, and you keep it in private. People don't care. Why are you posting those? I don't post those pictures out like that. So somebody posting those pictures out like that, knowing that they'll get views because people will crash out on it, you're doing espionage. I haven't seen that. I don't know what Scott's gonna say now. He'll probably do. He's a Richard Simmons type, so they act feminine, so they don't come out strong like that. But I'm out on Scott, man. I can't do it anymore. I'm not putting my reputation on backing this disgusting behavior. What do I need that for? I just go. You could. Well, I would respect Mayor Pete Buttigieg before that. Not that I would, but just before that. No, I'm out, man. I'm out. Just wrap that up. Just so you know, Bagel's got a bagel. I didn't even know it was Bobby Ballbags. I knew it was Bobby Ballbags. The Bagel's got a bagel. It's just a bagel thing. I'm out. This is a funny thing. And here we go again. What am I supposed to do when you look at it and it's two bagels again? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to ignore that? What are we supposed to do? And not recognize, hey, there's maybe a pattern here. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going crazy, but I see a pattern. Disappointing. Very disappointing. I'm completely done with Scott. I don't support him. I will not promote him as like some smart. I'm not going to lie to say he's not smart, but I'm not going to promote him as, oh, he's a smart strategist and he'll show you the kind of the blueprint to do. He ain't showing me a blueprint to do nothing. I don't know what's going on with that. And Josh Sider is just a disgusting, just a horrific type of person. I want no part of that. He might as well just be one of those tunnel Jays. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to take a look. We have NVIDIA is talking about agentic AI, and that what they are saying is they believe that they are in the early stages of creating AI that can think on its own. So let's switch the topic over to AI here. Following 7C's, which I'm really getting into 7C's work here. I believe is with the David Icke Network. I might sub up to that as a paid subscription. But here's what I want to get into on this. I thought this was very interesting because Naomi Wolf is on to stuff. And I have to think through it as well. But what she's on to is the AI thing is becoming a problem where we're pretty much getting to the point where it's too late to stop the kind of the AI, for a lack of a better term, the artificial intelligence kind of transformation of all of government and society. AI will be a tool that your common people like you and I can use, but we can still try to stop what's happening here. I'm looking at it. Here's just a little clip from an article he posted. As AI accelerates, the financial industry faces a transformative era defined by agentic AI. Basically, it's saying it's an agent, like it's an agent on its own. Unlike today's Gen AI models, which they are AI, but they're not like the AI that you think of when you really think of something that can think on its own. It's really just a bunch of search. It's just a fancy search engine, but that's what we are. I just search through my memory and I pick the next word. I mean, it's not that much different than what we are. But we respond to, or it will respond to specific human prompts, the current generation. Agentic AI can independently perceive, reason, act, and learn without constant human guidance. So you won't necessarily need a prompt. It'll just know and remember everything. I don't know the amount of energy and storage space it takes to keep all this stuff is insane. And then as it keeps more memories, it's more important. So what if Google loses all your pictures? That's one thing. But what if you have literally your whole memory and personality saved to a place where you can put it into a robot or something like that? You'll put it into a camera. It will know your preferences. It will know you. It will know what you're thinking before you're thinking. You would download your thoughts chip to a camera, thoughts chip to your phone, and you can literally have the phone call on your behalf, and it will know when you want the appointment. It will know your preferences for your doctor. Or it will know these things because it is you, basically. I mean, that's where we're going. But if you have to store all this stuff, where do you store it, and where do you back it up? I mean, what if you lose it? It's pretty valuable. But they're saying that the agentic AI, which they could be using to manipulate the market, who knows, these announcements, but they say it can be independent. Research by the Cambridge Center for Alternative Finance and the World Economic Forum of 2020 highlighted AI's growing influence on finance. All these articles are being written by AI, with AI now. I would bet money that this was written with AI, which is nothing wrong. Everything I do is written with AI or edited with it, but it's way more than, even a year ago. It's like 90% of the articles I read are AI. Building on advancing Gen AI, agentic AI is poised to deepen this impact on financial services. So you see, you're close to agentic AI, and then I had she didn't reply to me, but I had a noticing moment with Naomi Wolf. So let me look that up real quick. Naomi Wolf is noticing, not exactly the agentic stuff, but Naomi Wolf is noticing that Elon Musk is moving in more aggressive with the AI. And I talked about this a little bit, was it yesterday or 2 days ago when I did a live, and I talked about it from the standpoint of he's going to AI the government. And I think she's identifying some problems, but she is identifying some problems, but she's not fully articulating it. Is I think what is the problem with what's happening with Naomi Wolf, which I think she's very smart, very bright. I'm not against her. I think she needs some collaboration though on some of this stuff here. She's stepping a little bit to me outside of her area of expertise, and that's why you're seeing a little bit of this. I don't want to say mistakes, but refinement. That's why I talk about you have to build with people on the left, the libertarians. They can help round you off. And here's the article that she posted from the Washington Post. It says Elon Musk's Doge feeding sensitive information, sensitive federal data into AI to target cuts. And we've been talking about, we've already known that. But there was a little bit more in this that I didn't know. And I think that was the article. That Elon Musk has a proprietary software that he's rolling out to government employees. He has software that is basically like a ChatGPT, but it actually uses Claude. It doesn't use Grok, which is kind of interesting. But he has it and is rolling out to employees. I actually have a deep dive on that. Let's go to that. I think that'll be the most informative on that because I did that earlier today. I was doing all kinds of deep dives today. I'm using Perplexity because they're deep dives. They're not as good as ChatGPT, but they're quicker. So I've been using them just to at least get the conversation started. And then if I really like it and I'm interested in it, then I go to ChatGPT to flesh it out. So let's look at the Wired. This was actually a Wired article. Is where you can't even play the audio from. I don't think you can do the audio read from the computer, which is annoying. I always go to the computer and forget. The only place that I see you can do the read is from the phone. So I'll do this when I'll be out because I think it's actually 1:10 now. So I lost an hour. Let's do this. I thought this was very, very interesting.
Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, spearheaded by Elon Musk and aligned with the Trump administration, has initiated a sweeping transformation of federal operations through the deployment of artificial intelligence tools. Central to this effort is GSAI, a proprietary chatbot rolled out to 1,500 employees at the General.
Yo, that's problematic. He's rolling out a proprietary, which means he owns it, platform. How does that work? That's crossing the line. But they do that all the time with defense contracts, and there's contracts all over the government. So they're probably like, well, this is just another contract. I never liked any of these government contracts.
Administration, GSA, marking a pivotal shift toward automating tasks traditionally performed by humans. While framed as a modernization initiative, the accelerated adoption of GSA coincides with widespread layoffs across federal agencies, raising concerns about the broader strategy to reduce the workforce through AI-driven efficiencies. This report examines the technological, operational, and ethical dimensions of DOGE's AI integration, contextualizing its implications for governance, labor, and public trust. Deployment of GSAI's in federal agencies. GSAI's deployment follows a rapid development timeline under DOGE's leadership. Initially tested in February 2025 with 150 users.
We're not even 2 months. Trump took over January 20th. January to February, we're not even 2 months. Elon moves fast.
That bot was expanded to 1,500 employees within weeks, reflecting Musk's prioritization of AI-driven automation. The tool is accessible via a ChatGPT-like interface, offering 3 AI models: Claude Haiku 3.5 default, Claude Sonnet 3.5 v2, and Meta Llama 3.2, tailored for tasks ranging from drafting emails.
Elon Musk has beef with OpenAI. He was a part of the founding of OpenAI, and he just didn't like that he didn't get the money out of it. He wanted it to be open source. I don't know if I fully believe that, but he has beef with them, so that's why he wouldn't use them.
Analyzing procurement data. Internal memos emphasize its versatility, urging employees to generate engaging topics for newsletters or refine code, while cautioning against inputting sensitive information. The haste of GSAI's rollout is attributed to DOGE's influence over GSA leadership, particularly Thomas Shedd, a former Tesla engineer now heading the Technology Transformation Services, TTS. Shed has
So
publicly
he's literally running the AI just like his Tesla company. Naomi Wolf says, I just sat through 2 days of presentations of AI. I don't know what she's talking about there. I'm interested. I'd sit through 2 days of that. Musk deploying his own chatbot, what you just heard here from the articles. This is from Wired. His own chatbot on government comms makes his chatbot AI much more valuable and does not improve what should be our government chatbot AI used on our comms. If he wants to help, he can donate the tech to the US government and we can enrich our own chatbot, not his. And Naomi Wolf is firing from the hip here. There's a lot of good stuff here, but I do have a question too, and a respectful challenge to her. Because I like that she's talking about this. She has identified something for sure. Let me see if I can. I thought I had it. I thought I had my reply to her, but it's probably in the quote. It should be in the quote tweets. I think she is. So some people are crashing out on her, but for the wrong reasons. I'm not crashed out on her. I want to harness this into something that makes more sense. She's a woman, but I don't want to stereotype in this case. But she's coming across as emotional and not logical. So I said, Naomi, this is problematic. What she highlighted there is problematic. But we have to think through it. And I'm still thinking through it. I don't know the answer to this yet. But what I told her is you aren't using first principle thinking, so your concerns are not being articulated clearly. And it's kind of funny for me to say that. I mean, I get behind the mic, but I do have problems with that as well. There is a larger problem here. And we first have to start with a problem statement. What is the specific problem we're trying to solve? So you go to Naomi Wolf. She says, I just sat through the 2 days of presentation with AI. Musk is deploying his own chatbot on government comms. We should have our own government comms. So you're all over the place. Is the problem that we don't have our own government comms? If that's the problem, okay, that's one problem. Then there's another problem. Is the problem that we have a private company, proprietary software being used, contracted by the government to use for government issues, and that should be public? Something about it, like the information in it necessarily shouldn't be public, but how it operates, the algorithm should be public, shouldn't it? Unless they say national security, then now you don't have it. But you have government funds used to use an algorithm. Now, how do we know how do we know that basically Israel or any Qatar, any other country isn't running the algorithm for the government? Now we wouldn't know. It's more people doing the direct work. But when you get tech involved, it's much easier if it's connected to the internet. I mean, you're using cloud. Now cloud, I should have free speech when I use any service that's using cloud because you have the government tied into it. The government, so Claude or Elon, his services, he has a motivation to protect the government's interest because now he's making money off the government directly. So to me, there's a lot to look at there. So I want to know, what's the clear problem? If the problem is that the government doesn't have its own AI and there's no other problem, then you just have to say Congress has to allocate the funds and the government has to have its own AI. And what does that look like? What is public in that AI? Doesn't that remind you a little bit of the John Fetterman question last year or 2 years ago now at this point? I brought up, to my knowledge, I was the only person who brought this up. And this tweet is from 2022. This is from October of 2022. So it's over 2 years ago. Who programmed the algorithm that this Neanderthal, this Frankenstein of a human being, this fake robotic Zionist, non-thinking, fake MAGA, transformer in women's sports protecting thing, who is programming the algorithm that he used? I don't know if he's still using it. It looked like he still is when he was on The View and all that, but I don't know. There's an algorithm. When you speak, he doesn't understand because his brain doesn't work. So they have an algorithm to put the words together. But his brain doesn't work, so he doesn't know if the algorithm's putting the words together or not. How do I know that he knows? Who controls the algorithm? It's the same question as Elon Musk coming in with his own algorithm. Who controls the algorithm of this government? Basically, you can just call it the government version of Grok. I said at the time, I was really heated about it. It must be open sourced. It's public property. We need legislation. It's very unusual for me to call for any type of legislation from these people, but that it's not that legislation would even help. Even if there was legislation, how would I know? I mean, you just put them at more risk, but I think there should be legislation there. And the reason why I'm okay with that is it's not legislation to give the government more power. It's more legislation to create transparency. The legislation is very simple. It's like one word. Or now maybe a couple sentences, any type of algorithm connected to the government is public property. That means it should be able to be viewed, played with, prodded at any second of the day. We should be able to see what it's doing. It's the same argument as the Elon Musk AI stuff. So as you can see, we have a lot going on. Well, look at where I was 2 years ago. I at Will Chamberlain, like Will Chamberlain was going to help. What was Will Chamberlain going to do? He's a shape-shifting tiny hat. Nate the lawyer. I never went, but I kind of fell out with him. Oh my gosh, I'm not with any of these. Barnes has me blocked. Last time I looked. Is he? Wait, no, is he it? Okay. Here it is. Barnes has me blocked. You can put together a highlight now. Barnes has me blocked. Anomaly has me blocked. How many? You could probably, if you put together all the people that have me blocked, you probably get to 1 billion subscribers. I mean, there's overlap. Anomaly of all people has me blocked. That's a wild one. Shoe on Head has me blocked. I haven't seen a post from Shoe on Head in years. I don't know. Well, what is this? Is Shoe on Head gone? Oh no, just playing around. Wait, that's not the real. Oh, is that Shoe on Head? Yeah, that's Shoe on Head. I like Shoe. That is so weird. Keffels unblocked me. You know who I saw that had me blocked today? What's her name? Megan, the daughter of the eye patch. Maybe you can understand that one. If you call somebody's dead daddy eye patch McCain, that's probably grounds for a block. Megan McCain of all people have me blocked? Why does Megan McCain have me blocked? I'm gonna go on X and this be like literally everybody has me blocked. Iggy's gonna be like, damn, I'm tired of hearing your shit, man. I'm like, Iggy, what's up, bro? Iggy's gonna have me blocked. The Graper's gonna be like, Unc, we done with you, bro. I'm gonna be on X like, damn, where everybody at? They'd be like, nigga, we tired of you. Megan McCain has me blocked. Why does Megan McCain have me blocked? Is that, I kind of had words with, tried to be very respectful with Laura Loomer. Laura Loomer was on some submissive stuff today. Not submissive, subversive stuff today. Maybe she was on some submissive stuff too, but not publicly. She was on some subversive stuff today. She normally has receipts. She's talking about the JQ. Oh, there's a lot of people talking about the JQ, just prefacing. Okay, well, what are we talking about? Name names and name topics. You come with receipts all the time. So I don't want her to block me, but that's how you fall out with people. Like half these people have me blocked, man. Anna Kasparian has me blocked. I'm surprised Savvy Sav. I was able to say happy birthday to Savvy Savs today, even though we fell out. I have no beef with Savvy Savs. We just see race differently. Anna Kasparian. Oh, I gotta brainstorm a new name for the channel. It's gonna be what? Blocked on X. It's gonna be the name. Anna Kasparian has you blocked. Olivia, the The overweight light skinned one that used to go on Tim Pool and is good with like cool with like Blaze TV and all that. I think she's cool with Cassandra McDonald. Yeah, that would hurt if Cassandra's probably like, bro, I'm tired of you too. That would hurt though if Cassandra, because I'm a big Cassandra fan, but no, I don't care. I'd still follow. What's her name? What's the heavier light skinned Olivia? I don't even remember her name. I saw her reply to Cassandra McDonald, and I was blocked by her too. I'm like, wait, I never had beef with you. I forgot what Dilly. I fell out with Dilly and them, man. They all Dilly. You know how I have no beef with the Dilly meme team. We're gonna have to disagree on some stuff, agree to disagree, but at least some of the other ones haven't. Some of the other ones have. I chatted with some of the other ones. I said, hey, I got no beef with you. I don't know what's the deal. I mean, I had a take that disagreed with them, but channel what? Go to the channel what? Just damn near a year ago. It would have been it was a Dilly meme team praise channel. I mean, basically. Where am I? The Dilly meme team has me blocked. So where do I go, guys? Where do I go? Shoonhead, hey Shoonhead, what's up? I like how you roll. You kind of like you do your own thing, like. Oh, okay, and a Conspirian. I know you goofy over there with Jake Uger and the Young Turks, but I still kind of. Oh, I gotta rock with the Dilly meme team, man. It was like MAGA till we die, God, family, country. Okay, I'm gonna go more corporate, man. Megan McCain, what's going on? What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna go more libertarian, man. The libertarians, they're not gonna block me, man. I never have a beef with the libertarian. What's up with Anomaly? Man, I played his bars on here, played him and Bryson, him and his joint. I done segments when I went back to him rapping when he was like 18 and still flowing and dope. You remind me of like a young, I don't know, Aesop, not Aesop Rocky, Aesop Rock from underground rapper. But he got his own style and like, okay, what's up? Somebody tell me, where do I go? Other than the Grapers, man. The Grapers, y'all can't block me, man. No matter how much I crash out, man, you can't, because I ain't got no home. I'm out in these streets naked, bro. If the Grapers block me, I'm done. I'm straight up on the street. They're gonna kick me out of the moving car. They can't. The Grapers can't block me, man. I literally got no one after that. The name of the channel is gonna be like nigga no one. No one's nigga. Like nigga got no one. Like literally every part of the political spectrum has me blocked. Like literally. Meaning like if you out in the cold and you need a warm place to stay, you ain't got no home here, bro. Let's check in on Seth Dillon. Well, how about we're gonna go to let's check in on Seth Dillon. Babylon B. I never had beef with Babylon B. Is that a different? What is that symbol? That's not Babylon B. What is that symbol? Oh, that's a fake one. So I'm like, how do you get a fake symbol like that? Or is that a different account? But since Seth Dillon, Babylon B, yeah, no. Maybe, I had some questions about his, it wasn't about his faith, but, I didn't I don't think I came at him sideways or anything like that. Let's see, what are we doing with Seth Dillon? Why can't I find Seth Dillon? Let's check in on Seth Dillon and the relationship with Seth Dillon and Middle MAGA, formerly known as Middle MAGA. Let's check in. What? Oh, I'm a people. Why can't I not find Seth Dillon? I'm not faking this, yo. I'm not faking this. X at this point, the algorithm at X is like, no, we're not sending you to nobody. Because if you're blocked by people, if in a way the algorithm will say, well, then none of the niggas that rock with them want to rock with you. So I'll send out a tweet and like, nope, literally nobody. When Elon and Yakarina were like, you got freedom of speech, but you don't have that right for reach, they were talking about me. Not me literally, but my example. Seth, I'm blocked by Seth. Okay. All right. Well, remember James Lindsay. I called James Lindsay the general in this fifth generational, literally. I said, James Lindsay is the general in this fifth generational informational war. Let's see what he's up to. He's got over 500,000 subscribers, new discourses.
Doge, spearheaded by Elon Musk.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to say. It definitely is at that point. I mean, you can't ignore it. If you're blocked by the spectrum of people that I'm blocked by, I would like to. Here, I'm gonna play it off. I'm gonna put it up as like a wall of, pride for me that I'm blocked by the spectrum. But we are gonna have to. I always keep it 100. I always keep it 100. That says something. I don't know what it says about me. And then I'm gonna have to keep it 100. If you're watching the live, it says something about you too, man. I don't know what it says about you. I don't know what it says about you, but it says something. If the guy's stream that you're watching is literally blocked by the biggest names in all of political X other than the Groypers, then it says something. There's a statement. I don't know what the statement is. Can you see how many people have you blocked? I just look at random account. I'll look at a random account that has like 1,000 followers, and this nigga will block me. Or this, I'm like, what the hell? I don't know you. That's wild. I could just probably pick a random, I swear to you, I'll pick a random account on X and it'd just be like, you're blocked. I'll have to get to sleep, man. Spring this clock forward and get some sleep, man. It's nothing. Said peace to my dark skinned niggas 07. Okay, we got Groypers in the building. See, they're gonna save it. Jordan Lott, what's up? Bro, you are savage. Perfect for the libertarians. Thanks, man. The only other ones that don't have me blocked are the ones that I subscribe to. The funny thing is, though? I was subscribed to Robert Barnes on X. And the way I found out that he blocked me is they canceled my subscription. He's like $1 or $2 a month or something like that. I subscribed to Robert Barnes. And that nigga was like, I don't want your money. Just leave me alone. Robert Barnes was like, and when I talk about Robert Barnes, it's like 90% bigging him up in admiration. Robert Barnes is like, you can keep your $2 a month. Just leave me the hell alone. I saw Wendy. I was worried on Wendy because I like this account on X and it goes by Wendy. She seems like an independent journalist, like a like a legitimate, like what Insurrection Barbie, I thought Insurrection Barbie was a couple years ago. And she had something where, I don't know if somebody hacked her or something like that. Man, I can't find her account. But I subscribed to her, and then I got that notification like, hey, your subscription has been canceled. And I was like, oh, damn, another one. Didn't want anything to do with me, but no, it was some type of glitch or something. Do I get like a special plaque or something? Like, at least something? For all the time, it takes some time and effort to get blocked by that many people. I don't know, man. I'm gonna get some sleep, listen to some Nas Illmatic or something. just vibe out, man. I'm out. Let me eject.
The next clip is ready below. Welcome to After Show Carnage.